All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So yesterday's win against the AFC East rival Buffalo Bills was flat out awesome. I mean, it was just so cool to see the Jets have that statement win. Yeah, the win in Denver was awesome. The win in Lambeau was totally cool. But as the weeks go on here, we're starting to see, hey, you know what? Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't that good. Maybe the Cleveland Browns aren't all that impressive. But in my opinion, the Buffalo Bills are the best team in football. And the Jets, again, made that statement win yesterday, winning 20-17 in MetLife Stadium, entering that game as 11 to 12 point underdogs. Okay, so a lot of people counted this team out, and they shut a lot of people up. They shut a lot of people up here. So in this one, I wanted to really ask the question, will the New York Jets make the playoffs? Now, it's week 10, and I feel like as fans of football, we all have a pretty good idea on where teams stand in the NFL. Now, granted, nothing is set in stone. Teams could go on massive winning streaks. Teams could bottom out. We've seen both happen before. Most recently, the Miami Dolphins. You know, that's a team that starts off horrible every year, and then they just finish on like a massive winning streak. It's crazy. So, again, nothing is for sure. Nothing is a lock. But as we stand right now, I feel like, again, as fans of football here, we can look across the league, look across the AFC, and have a pretty good understanding of, you know what, this is going to be a playoff team. These guys have a chance. These guys aren't going to. Now, the Jets are 6-3, second place in the AFC East, right behind the Buffalo Bills. And let's be honest, these days, it's definitely a lot easier to make the playoffs with a 3 wildcard system that the NFL implemented not too long ago. I mean, 7 teams from each conference, that's a lot of playoff teams, okay? But we're looking at the 4 division leaders as we stand right now. We got the Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens, Tennessee Titans, and the Kansas City Chiefs. I honestly feel like those 4 teams have a really, really good shot of making the playoffs here. I mean, when we're talking about the best 7 teams within the AFC, in my opinion, those are definitely 4 out of the 7. In that specific order, maybe not. We'll see how these next couple of weeks play out until the end of the season. But I think we have a pretty good idea, unless something crazy happens, you know, some catastrophic injury or a team just flat out implodes. Those 4 will probably be in the thick of it right around that December-January time. Now, the 3 teams that hold wildcard spots, if the season were to end today, are the New York Jets, the Miami Dolphins, and the LA Chargers. And on the outside looking in, there's 2 main threats, the Cincinnati Bengals and the New England Patriots. I really feel like it's going to be a tight race with all 9 teams really going down to the last week of the season. And there's definitely been some disappointments this year with the Pittsburgh Steelers sitting here at 2-6, the Vegas Raiders also 2-6, just a really, really bad loss yesterday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, they had a multi-score lead and they blew it in Jacksonville. I was shocked that the Raiders lost. We got the Indianapolis Colts at 3-5-1, but they are rolling out Sam Ehlinger at quarterback for the rest of the season. And I got to be honest, I'm not too worried or fearful of the Colts making a big run. We got the Cleveland Browns, another 3-win team, but Deshaun Watson will be coming back later in the season. That's an interesting team to watch. You know, that's definitely a team that I could see maybe stacking wins late, but there's so much dependent on Deshaun Watson's shoulders, and can Kevin Stefanski almost get out of his own way. I feel like that team is so talented, both on offense and defense. And then the Denver Broncos, you know, another disappointing team, 3 wins on the year, 3-5, but that's a team right there that I feel like, you know, I personally would not be shocked if they figured it out and they go on like a 4-game winning streak or something like that. Denver has so much talent, both on offense and defense. They got playmakers, they got weapons, but the reality of the situation is the fact that this team lost so many games early on. There's so much ground to cover in the back half of the season, okay? But I don't want to write them off completely as of right now. But with that said, those are all the disappointing teams. And right now it is really looking like a 9-team race for those, you know, 7 playoff spots. When we look at the remaining schedule difficulty with these 9 teams, the Jets have the 8th hardest schedule. The Patriots have the 3rd hardest schedule out of all the teams in football. Bengals at 15, Dolphins at 20, LA Chargers 18, Buffalo Bills 14, Titans 17, Kansas City 29, so pretty easy schedule there from here on out. And then the Baltimore Ravens actually have the easiest schedule. So the numbers say that the Jets will have more of a difficult path of making the playoffs compared to the other teams, but here's the reality of the situation. The Jets are sitting here right now at 6 wins. They are in the playoff picture if the season were to end today with the 5th seed. Okay, that's important stuff. They're coming off a win against, in my opinion, the best team in football, the Buffalo Bills. The Vegas odds makers had this team winning 5.5 games, right? Over under, it was 5.5. So I don't want to. The point is, the Jets have been proving a lot of people wrong this season. Nobody should write this team off, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if the Jets have the hardest schedule in football, easiest schedule in football from here on out. I think it would be foolish to say, oh, you know what, based on the teams that the Jets are going to play, they're not going to get in. I think that's just a mistake. When we look at exactly who the Jets play, they got a bye week this week, and then it's at Foxborough, home against the Bears, at Minnesota, at Buffalo Bills, home against the Lions, home against the Jaguars, in Seattle, and then in Miami. And by the looks of it, there's definitely winnable games on that schedule for sure. I'm not writing any W's in with a Sharpie or anything like that. Of course, the Jets still have to go out there and play. But the way the schedule is looking, I really feel like that last game of the season, Jets at Dolphins, I'll try to go to that game. There's going to be a lot riding on it. Not only just for the Jets, but for the Dolphins, the entire outlook of the AFC, the playoff picture. This could come down to the last week of the season, but to answer the original question of this video, will the Jets make the playoffs? I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yes. Yes, the Patriots have back-to-back wins. The Dolphins don't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. The Chargers have tons of talent, just like the Denver Broncos. And there's a couple teams, obviously, like the Raiders and Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, there's a lot of teams like in that bottom section of the AFC that have just way too much talent to be sitting here right where their record's at. Like, some of these teams have 2 wins. Like, are you kidding me? Like, that's insane. Absolutely insane to me. So, with all of that said, again, I do think the Jets will. I really believe the Jets will be making the playoffs here. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you think the Jets will be in the playoffs come January? I mean, it should. I cannot wait to see how this thing plays out. Rough game against New England, bounce back against the Buffalo Bills. 2 weeks, extra time here to prepare for New England. Massive, massive game in Foxborough. Massive. I can't stress it enough. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, go Jets.